Shall we jump straight into it?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so when I was looking at your name in Skype, it said working towards my dreams underneath it as kind of a tagline or a description. When did this dream start for you?
When I was born. Yeah, well, I think that phrase still applies. So it's always, the goal is to go towards my dreams, and I always think that when you have dreams, you should think of them as your goals and not just dreams. So maybe they can actually happen in real life. And yeah, I think it's never too late to develop yourself or pursue things that you want to have in life.
When did you know that you wanted to sing?
When I was 4, I realized that I really I saw this television competition for kids, like a singing competition for kids, and back then I was 4 years old, and I was like, I heard from my parents that I said that I really want to be on that competition, but coming from a middle class working family, we didn't have the finances to have some vocal coaching for me, and we should have moved to to Helsinki and all that stuff, and my family is from Oulu, and I'm born in Rauma, but that's another story. I have a lot of stories, but yeah, so that would meant too much sacrifices from the other, from the rest of the family, just for a dream coming from a 4-year-old. But I remember that moment being the kind of flame that started, and it hasn't faded since then.
What I always find interesting, because I talk to musicians a lot and they tell me stories like this, and what I always find interesting is, let's say when I was 4, I would say, oh, I love to sing, let's try and be a singer. And then you find out, okay, I can't sing. It's not for me. For you, when did you know you had a really good voice? When did you know you could actually do it?
Well, when I was since I was a kid, I really loved to try to imitate my idols. Like when I was a kid, my first idols were Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Freddie Mercury, and more pop artists back then. And that was also because I didn't know why I really loved that kind of, well, I have never been like I love just certain kind of music or certain kind of singers. I just love good music, and that what moves me and what talks to my soul, and that's also about the the vocalists that I've been listening to, that if they move me somehow, then I've always wanted to kind of capture the same, how to move people, how to talk to their souls, and that has become the task for my life. To talk to your soul. And so it was like when I was maybe in the 5th grade, when my mind was blown away by Whitney Houston. I heard her sing this "I Will Always Love You," Dolly Parton's song, and I just knew then that I want to be as great singer as Whitney Houston is, and it also got that far that I actually wanted to be. I didn't want to be white. I'm not. If I would be African American, I could be, more talented or something. I was like obsessed. But you know, those are all these kind of, you know, identity phases that you have to go through while you are growing and trying to find yourself.
Sure.
But you know, going back to this day, I just you know, love that I love different kind of music and different vocalists, and I've taken different influences, and I'm not allergic to anything actually. I just want more tools to use.
Well, that's interesting, because one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, and you mentioned kind of the idea is to connect with people's souls through music and to make that connection. So in Admiral Octopus, what kind of music did you make? And that was kind of for you the first kind of test, or so to say, or first real exploration of this musical talent, I suppose.
Yeah, that was the first band I've ever had. If I don't, you know, mention my, you know, high school band or whatever it was, like on the 7th, 8th grade. But yeah, Admiral Octopus was happened when I started to go to these blues bar jams in my hometown here in Tampere, and I didn't even know about any jams before. Some guys just introduced me. After a long night out, I went to this pizzeria place, and there was two guys having a jams in pizzeria. I was totally wasted. I was like, I want to go to sing with them, and I went there. And then after I had been singing some drunken something, they were like, hey, you should come to the jams next week. And I'm like, what jams? And then I was afraid to go there, but I still went because I didn't have any idea where I was going into, but I'm like that. If someone gives me some kind of chance or a challenge, I just want to go to it and see how I survive or not. So I went there, and it was a blues bar, and I at that moment I didn't know that was the first, you know, step to the end of for the rest of my life, you know. When I ended up in a blues bar, I didn't know that it's gonna be, you know, the kind of the beginning of everything. And yeah, I found my first band there, and I also started to sing Janis Joplin because of my bandmate Joona Mikkola, who established Admiral Octopus with me. He was saying that, hey, you should listen to Janis Joplin and try to sing like she does, or try to sing those songs. I guess they would fit you. And I heard them, and I heard her first time when I was 19, and I was like, what the hell? What is this? I was like, my mind was so blown away, and kind of I realized what I have to do and what I want to be, what kind of artist I want to be. And Janis is still the number one idol for me, and you know, the one who leads my way. Kind of, she was a woman who did it her way and no other way, and that's the way I want to do it too.
I find it very, because you mentioned that when somebody invites you to something, or they give you a challenge, that you like it, you like to accept that challenge or that request. So I think it was 2012 that Battle Beast asked you to join. What was your thought process, thinking, okay, now I'm going to join this metal band? And I don't know how much metal singing you've done up till that point, but what was your thought process being asked to join the band?
Well, my thought process lasted for for 3 seconds.
Well, fair enough.
Really, I had been going through this like scenario in my head for so many times before Battle Beast even asked me to join. But I had a dream that I wanted to have a band. I wanted to be part of a band. I wanted to be touring around the world with all our own music. And when they called, I had never sang heavy metal before.
Okay.
But because I had this rasp, you know, it came from singing Janis Joplin. And that's why they asked me to join. They had heard me singing Janis Joplin on YouTube. Right. So that was the reason they called me. And I was just blown away because I just had heard of Battle Beast like 2 weeks before that call. And I was like, is this like a joke? Are you trying to, pull my ear or something? Because it felt like totally something that could not happen in real life. But when they said in the same phone call that okay, there would be a 1 month tour coming up in 1 month or so. I think it was 1 or 2 months. And then we have already started making a next album, and you should be doing the vocals for that also. And you should practice the whole first album, the songs. And but I was trying to be cool, of course, in the phone. I was like, send me some demos and I listen them and we'll see. But after that phone call, I started straight away calling all my friends and family and told them I'm going on tour. I'm in a heavy metal band. I'm going in a heavy metal band. And so I decided right at that moment, but I really wanted to kind of not to be too easy. But the next day in the morning, I was like a little bit in a panic because I was afraid that they had already taken someone else in those few hours because I was like had been babbling about it already. But I called them and the same week I had a show in my hometown in this local bar, and they came, some of the band members came to see me, how I perform. And during that evening after the show, they came to me and said, okay, when are you coming to the studio? Let's start this. This
and then the hard work starts, right?
Yeah, then it was like hectic times. It was like, okay, the next week going to the studio. Then we were taking promo stuff, promo photos, some recordings for the new album, and then we had rehearsals for the upcoming tour, and a lot of stuff going on. And actually that kind of circus has been going on since that day because and without the pandemic lockdown coming, there would have not been any kind of like a break for songwriting. We have been always doing our albums at the same time while we are touring. So it's like, I think it was of course, I hate that we can't be on tour. But also, if you don't ever have time to sit down and, put your thoughts on the paper, then you don't have any new material to perform on the tour. So sure. I think it's good to have that balance. And I hope that in the future we could have specific times when we are touring and specific times we are writing songs and not doing everything at the same time, because it's also very, time and energy consuming, and sure. And people need to rest also. And we some of our band members have already family, they have kids, and stuff like that, and also like we have girlfriends and boyfriends and stuff like that. So we need to have all that balanced out, and it's difficult being as a musician.
But then, I mean, when Corona kind of came in and everything, the world slowed down. One of the things you did is instead of kind of really taking your time and taking a long rest, you made a couple of more albums, one by yourself, one with Netta Lauren. You made an album. So why did you need kind of these creative expressions to keep you busy, or why did you delve into these other projects?
Well, the simple answer is that I'm an artist. It's like, I don't I don't want to. It's in me to do. It's like very natural for me to do many stuff at the same time all the time, and it is also very important for me to, if I want to develop myself, I need to do different stuff. So if I would be only doing Battle Beast, then I wouldn't be developing myself as a singer and as a songwriter, as a human being. So I need to be doing different things and kind of explore myself and explore the world around me from different angles. And that's how I do my best in Battle Beast also. So it's all connected together, and nothing takes away from each other. It's all kind of, after releasing my own solo album, I had so much more to give to Battle Beast's new album as a vocalist, and also as a person. I was like, okay, I'm so ready. I'm like 300% ready. And I had so much energy to give. I had found new vocal stuff that I could use in Battle Beast also. So it was like in my solo, while doing my solo album, I was also getting ready for the 6th Battle Beast album.
Sure. And moving towards Circus of Doom, then the new album, can you share one thing that you've learned over the past year or 2 years about maybe your vocal style, or what kind of songs you wanted to write with Battle Beast? How do you see your own development in the past year or so?
Well, I think the most important lesson that I've learned during these 10 years, actually, it's the 10th anniversary this year. So the most important lesson is that I don't need to be doing everything, and I don't need to be responsible of everything, and the world doesn't crumble down if I'm not in charge or in control of everything. So so what I really realized for a few years ago was that I don't really want to be writing songs for Battle Beast, because they don't come naturally. These heavy metal kind of songs. I can, I see myself in my best when I'm the Battle Bitch in front, and I'm, telling the stories, and I'm really good at it. I know it. But it's like, but I don't really need to be doing the stories. I just want to tell them. And I really love to perform. And also, it's not that I don't do anything else but get on the stage and sing to people. It's
Sure.
Also, I prepare myself and develop myself as an artist all the time. I try to be physically more capable of doing things that would be impossible. And I want to be like 360 degrees entertainer. I don't really want to be, I want to make the impossible possible and entertain people as much as I can, and that's the thing that I really want to do in Battle Beast. And also, creating with my dressmaker all those different looks. It takes about a year to make those. So, and now this time we also have more than one looks. We have like 3 different outfits for me, and also new outfits for the guys. And so we are developing also our visuals in that aspect also, and I'm really excited about that because I really, really love, you know, this extravaganza thing that we and what I have, you know, on stage.
Is that, I mean, the album is called Circus, but is that kind of what you want out of a performance? That just some crazy fun things happening, and then is that kind of part of the performance in a way?
Yeah, but yes, I really love that there are a lot of, you know, that there are big stuff coming and happening on stage.
Right.
They also have to be something, not just something random, but it needs to be it needs to be part of the story. It needs to be part of the why, you know, that when people see me, they are not like, why is she doing that? But they are actually, yes, exactly. That's what needs to be done to make this song even better, you know, live. So it's like, that's what's my goal and what's our goal as a band is to, you know, when we are doing live shows, and we are the best at our best when we are on stage. So it's like, okay, when you're listening to our album, it's like, yeah, this is good, and gives you energy when you go to the gym or
right.
running. But when you come to the live shows, it should be blowing your head off. It should be like, this is amazing. I don't want to leave this show ever. So that's what I'm looking for every time when you come to our shows.
Oh, that's great to hear, and I listened to Circus of Doom, and it's very energetic, and I felt I was tapping my feet along the whole listen. So you succeeded in that respect at least. There's one song, because you mentioned just now that you want to be physically able to sing certain bits or to perform certain things, and there's one. I don't know. I'm not a singer, so I don't know if it's more difficult or not. But in Armageddon, I heard some vocal things. I was really impressed by it. Was there a difficult song for you on the album, or something that you really had to work at, or that you really enjoyed singing?
Well, there are some songs that I had really had to work on, like. We always have to see if the key is right for me, and also if the thing is that when we have the demo sessions, we you know, to figure out if the song is good for battle based, it's always they test it with my voice. If it doesn't work with my voice, then it shouldn't be on the album.
Sure.
But yeah, of course, there were like sometimes I have difficulties to get some emotional, you know, attraction or contact to the song, and that's why that might be the biggest problem sometimes. But then when I have I usually ask the songwriter, you know, first, like, what is this song about, and tell me about it, because I need to have this emotional attachment, and if they can't tell anything, then it takes more time and it's more difficult to, you know, kind of create your own emotional story to that. And then I just have to figure it out and kind of use my own imagination. But so yeah, but talking about the song that I loved the most, I had a lot of different songs on this album that I had moments of joy. But I have to say the song, the opening track, Circus of Doom, is one of those that I think has changed my life somehow. Or, you know, like, I'm so dramatic, but, you know, it's like, I think it's one of the best songs Battle Beast has ever had. I think, honestly, like, it has the dramatics, it has the orchestras, the different kind of, you know, I could show myself again in a different light. You know, like I felt like I could use my voice again, the way that no one has heard me do before. So it was like, and I really love the whole dynamics and the story in the song, and it's really like, I if it wouldn't be so artistic song, I would have taken it as a single. But I know the reason why it's not a single, because it's like, it's so much to handle, and you have to listen to it for many times before it opens up, like absolutely. But I think it's perfect, welcoming song for the listener to the world of Circus of Doom and to the world of Battle Beast.
But with that in mind, what do you hope? And then obviously you've made a bunch of albums in the last 10 years. But what do you hope your listener gets from the songs that they get from an album like this?
I hope they have the most exciting adventure in 2022 that they have had ever before, because it's like, when you listen to it from the beginning to the end, and that's what I recommend for everyone, it's like a roller coaster trip. It is like going to the circus. There are so many different kind of songs with different dynamics, different stories, different emotions. Sometimes you want to cry, sometimes you want to laugh, sometimes you want to be scared even. You know, it's like, it's a whole bunch of different, you know, a whole bunch of scale of different emotions, and that's what I love about Battle Beast, and I love about Circus. So, and I really love that we took this, you know, it's not a concept album, but the theme that we took here, that it's Circus of Doom. I really love it because I love circus. I when I was a kid, I was in circus in my hometown. Like, as a kid, I was in this circus school.
Okay.
And so it's like, it has been, you know, very nostalgic also for me, but also something that I might be using in the future.
Okay. So quick question. What did you do in the circus? What was it, trapeze or juggling? What did you do?
I usually loved like aerial
Okay.
stuff, like trapeze and stuff like that. I've always loved high places
Okay.
and dangerous places. So it's like, I really want to do something more extreme in my life.
Okay.
You know, I've even thought about, like, okay, now I've done this bungee jump, then I have to go skydiving. What else could I do? Like helicopter, small, some kind of plane.
You could do motorcycle racing or something.
Yeah, I need to do all that. I need more speed and danger in my life.
Oh, that's great. Final question. I'm talking about speed. You're on tour with Dragon Force, I believe, in March in the US, and you mentioned earlier on you're pretty much the live shows. That's what it's all about. So looking towards this year now, where you finally get to play live a lot. Yeah, how do you look forward to the next couple of months where you will be touring again?
Well, I'm so much looking forward to, you know, if that is somehow possible to tour.
Sure.
You know, I'm very skeptic nowadays, because it's been this way like over 2 years now, that people first they say like, yeah, you can tour, and then they are like, no, you can't. So, but I really hope that this changes towards positive, and not COVID positive, but you know
Sure.
what I
Sure,
that,
sure.
that we could have like a normal life. And it's like it's very kind of tearing me and all my colleagues apart, in our hearts, because it's like, of course we don't want anyone to get hurt, but also, for example, in Finland we feel here, musicians and all the musicians feel like we are being kind of we are put down here, because we can't do our work here, but
Sure.
still kids are teachers, and all those people, all normal people are going to work and going to school and not necessarily using the masks, not having the vaccinations. And then we would have live shows with vaccinations, with masks, with the vaccination passes, but still no. So it's like, I think something is going really wrong here. I think this is not legal.
It's the same feeling here in the Netherlands. I mean, and this kind of goes into another conversation that we recently had here in the Netherlands, because a lot of companies or kind of the government, they see music as something trivial. They don't value it for what it should be. And do you feel the same way, that music isn't always valued for kind of the power that it has? I mean, music is so important for so many people.
Yes, I totally feel that it's so much underestimated power.
Right.
And the thing is that the governments and the countries, they should understand how this whole thing affects people's health,
Mental health.
health and physical health.
Sure.
Also. And the thing is that it must come from us who are doing this. I think because we have never been in this kind of crisis before, we have never felt the eagerness to fight for ourselves so much, and now we are in deep trouble because of that. And we also, because we do the things that we love, we haven't always been kind of valuing our profession so much publicly, and that's the reason. Also, we also have to blame ourselves why we are in this situation, why we are put down. But now I don't think it's a reason for quitting or anything like that. I think it's a reason to fight, and it's a reason to now to be loud and clear. What do we want? We should have different kind of unions formed. We should have our own, some kind of group in the government to talk about, talk behalf of culture and
sure.
People who work in this industry, and not just musicians and technicians and people like that, but we have so many people that are without a job, going from club owners and the caterers and cleaners and whoever. It's a lot of people who are losing jobs and losing houses, losing their lives because of this. And I think this is something that we really need to take seriously from now on and continue fighting for our rights.
Yeah, let's hope that changes a little bit, where people start to value music. And like you said, it would be great if there would be organizations that could speak on behalf of the culture sector in government and stuff. I have one last question before I let you enjoy your evening. I've seen a couple of interviews with you now, and you always have the best sunglasses. So what do they mean to you, or where do you get them?
I get them very cheap from different kind of shows, but I really love to, just collect.
Okay.
People. If I don't get anything else from our tours, as a souvenir for myself, they are sunglasses. So
Awesome.
So usually I always try to pick one sunglasses from each country I'm visiting, or it's fun.
That's cool. Noora, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you. It was a great interview.